Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most valuable Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickels that could be sitting in your collection or change jar right now. So, stick around to see if you've got a fortune hiding in plain sight. First up, the 1939 Jefferson nickel is a key coin in the history of U.S. currency, representing both the bicentennial of Thomas Jefferson's birth and an era of transition in American coinage. The coin was designed by renowned artist Felix Schlag, who won a competition to design the new nickel in 1938. This design was a major departure from previous nickel designs, reflecting the changing artistic tastes of the time as well as the political climate in the late 1930s. The obverse of the 1939 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait is a classic representation of Jefferson, captured in profile with his facial features and distinctive nose, making him immediately recognizable. The inscriptions on the coin read "Liberty and in God We Trust," with the year of minting 1939 positioned below Jefferson's bust. On the reverse side, we find the Monticello building, Jefferson's home in Virginia, which is depicted in great detail. The Monticello design is framed with the inscriptions Monticello and a pluribus unum. The reverse also includes the coin's denomination 5 cents along with the mint mark. However, it's important to note that the 1939 Jefferson nickel, specifically the version without a mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia. The 1939 Jefferson nickel, particularly the version without a mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, has become one of the most iconic and valuable coins from this era. The total mintage of this coin was high, but it's the condition of the coin that matters most to collectors. In fine condition, the coin shows a moderate amount of wear, but the details of Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello design remain legible and visible, making it a desirable piece for serious collectors. The 1939 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is especially valuable when found in fine condition. While lower-grade versions of this coin can be found for as little as $100, the value jumps significantly when the coin is in fine condition, reaching upwards of $10,000s in typical auction markets. However, exceptionally well-preserved coins, those in nearly uncirculated condition or with certain rare die varieties, can fetch much higher prices, sometimes exceeding $78,000s. A particularly rare version of this coin, known as the 1939 Do Doubled die obverse, can command even more in the marketplace. This error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing a doubling effect in certain parts of the design, such as Jefferson's portrait and the word Liberty. These error coins have been known to sell for several $1,000s at auction, with some fetching prices in excess of $89,000 of dollars depending on coin's condition and provenance. Collectors are especially interested in error coins, and the 1939 Jefferson nickel is no exception. The most notable error associated with this coin is the aforementioned double die obverse. This error, which resulted from a misalignment in the striking process, has become a highly sought-after feature among numismatists. The presence of doubled features such as the extra thickness in Jefferson's profile or the Liberty inscription makes these coins extraordinarily rare and valuable. Additionally, some 1939 Jefferson nickels feature a slight variation in the positioning of the Monticello building, which could be attributed to die wear or improper striking. While not as well known or valuable as the Dido variety, these subtle variations can still intrigue advanced collectors who are focused on finding every minute detail of coinage. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is not only prized for its rarity and errors, but also because of its historical significance. It's a coin that celebrates one of America's most revered founding fathers, and it stands as a testament to the nation's changing approach to coin design and production. Next up, the 1948, a year that saw the United States in the midst of post-World War IEI recovery. The country was experiencing a period of economic growth and societal change, and the Monticello nickel played a crucial role in representing these times through its design. The 1948 Jefferson nickel follows the same basic design elements as the 1939 version. However, one important feature sets this coin apart: the large date variety. On these coins, the numbers in the year 1948 appear larger than on earlier versions of the coin. The difference may seem subtle at first glance, but collectors are very attuned to these types of variations, and the large date is one of the key distinguishing features of the 1948 Jefferson nickel. The design, once again crafted by Felix Schlag, shows the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. His profile is surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The reverse showcases the Monticello building, which is finely detailed, along with the E Pluribus Unum inscription and the coin's denomination 5 cents. The 1948 Jefferson nickel, particularly in fine condition, is relatively common compared to other years in the series, making it more affordable for collectors just starting out. In fine condition, this coin typically sells for around $10,000s at auction, with well-worn examples going for even less. However, the large date variety can see a significant increase in value due to its relative rarity and collector demand. These large date coins are more difficult to find in high-grade conditions, which makes them more desirable to collectors looking for unique and well-preserved pieces. In fine condition, the 1948 large date Jefferson nickel can be worth around $35,000s, with examples in better condition, such as very fine or extra fine, reaching prices closer to $37,000. When you move into higher grades, the value increases sharply, especially if the coin is in near mint state. Auction prices for nearly uncirculated 1948 large date nickels can easily exceed $40,000s or more, with some fetching higher amounts depending on market conditions and the coin's provenance. While the 1948 large date nickel isn't known for having significant errors, collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics. Some nickels from this year may have weak strikes, which can make the date or Monticello building less visible. These variations, while not considered official errors, are of interest to advanced collectors who focus on the subtleties of coinage. Additionally, the 1948 large date Jefferson nickel is of particular interest to those who collect coins by year, as it is one of the few years in the series where a large date variety exists. Collectors who focus on minting variations, such as different sizes or positions of the date, will find this coin especially fascinating. Next up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel is a coin that, despite being part of the regular minting program, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its specific errors and its role in the broader history of U.S. coinage. The Jefferson nickel, first struck in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and was designed by artist Felix Schlag. The design was inspired by President Thomas Jefferson, with a portrayal of his home, Monticello, on the reverse side. The 1964 coin comes at the tail end of the era when the U.S. was transitioning from silver to base metals in its coinage due to the rising cost of silver. The composition of the nickel in 1964 was still 75 copper and 25 copper and 25 copper, and would become the standard for years to come. The obverse of the 1964 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left with the inscription "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" to the right. The date, 1964, is prominently displayed under Jefferson's portrait, and the D mint mark is located near the base of the coin's neck, signifying it was minted at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, the design features the iconic image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, with the inscriptions "Monticello" and "E Pluribus Unum" above the building. The denomination 5 cents is marked, and the year of minting is visible at the bottom. However, this particular 1964 Jefferson nickel has a unique flaw: damage dots on the obverse side. These dots are a result of post-mint damage, either from improper handling or storage conditions. These irregularities give the coin a distinctive appearance that draws the attention of collectors interested in error coins or those with unique characteristics. The total mintage of the 1964 Jefferson nickel is over 1 billion coins, making it a relatively common issue in terms of the number of coins produced. However, the presence of damage dots on the obverse side sets this particular coin apart from others and significantly affects its market value. In circulated condition, The value of this coin is generally modest, with typical values ranging from $100,000s depending on the level of wear and damage. However, coins with distinctive post-mint damage, like the dots on this example, could fetch a higher price at auction due to their rarity and uniqueness. Depending on the severity and placement of the damage, auction prices for this coin can range from $115,000s or more, particularly if the coin is graded higher or features additional unique damage traits. While this coin is not an official mint error, the damage dots are a form of post-mint damage that appeals to collectors who specialize in error coins or coins with distinctive features. For those collectors, these damaged coins can hold significant value because they are not often found in the same quantity as undamaged examples. The condition and the severity of the damage will largely determine its market value, with coins in better condition or with more striking damage commanding higher prices. Furthermore, the historical significance of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, combined with its unique error characteristics, makes it a valuable coin for numismatic enthusiasts looking for rare pieces to add to their collections. Whether it's a die crack, off-center strike, or post-mint damage, such coins often spark bidding wars at auctions, especially when they are well preserved or graded highly. Next up, the 1940 Jefferson nickel is a classic example of the American nickel series, with a design that has stood the test of time. As part of the Monticello series, this nickel was struck during a period of great historical and economic change for the United States. The 1940 Jefferson nickel is part of a series designed by Felix Schlag, who won a design competition held by the U.S. Mint. The design features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The 1940 nickel was produced during a time when the United States was still in the grips of the Great Depression, and tensions were rising in Europe, leading up to World War II. Despite these turbulent times, the coin's design and production symbolized the resilience of the American people. At this time, the nickel was primarily made of 75 copper and 25 nickel. This composition would remain consistent throughout much of the 20th century. The obverse of the 1940 Jefferson nickel shows Thomas Jefferson in profile, with the word liberty above his head, and the motto "In God We Trust" to the right. The date 1940 is located just beneath Jefferson's portrait, and there is no mint mark, signifying that this coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The 1940 Jefferson nickel had a mintage of around 120 million coins, which at the time was a substantial number. However, given the passage of time and the wear and tear most coins of this era experience, high-quality examples are relatively scarce, particularly those in good or fine condition. In good condition, the value of the 1940 Jefferson nickel is typically around $20,000s depending on the level of wear. Coins in fine condition can command values of up to $30,000s, however. Coins in better grades or those with unique characteristics like errors or unusual toning can fetch much higher prices. Collectors of Jefferson nickels often seek coins with unique characteristics, such as high-grade examples, rare die errors, or atypical toning. The 1940 Jefferson nickel is no exception, and its large date design is one of the more popular varieties sought after by collectors. The large date is distinguishable from the smaller date variety by the size of the digits in the date, making it an interesting feature for enthusiasts. In terms of collector interest, the 1940 Jefferson nickel has a dedicated following among those who appreciate the Monticello design, as well as those who specialize in collecting specific dates or minting errors. While this coin may not command as high a price as rarer Jefferson nickels, it remains a solid investment for those who wish to complete their collections or hold on to a piece of American history. Next up, the 1970 Jefferson nickel is an integral part of this series and was produced during a period of transition for U.S. coinage, following the significant changes of the 1960s, including the switch from silver to copper. Nickel coins, the 1970s saw a continued refinement in U.S. minting processes. The 1970 Jefferson nickel, specifically the version with the large date and D mint mark, was struck at the Denver Mint. These nickels, though not exceedingly rare in their original form, have gained significant collector interest due to the specific characteristics of the 1970 large date version. On the obverse, The 1970 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. This design has been the same since 1938, except for the changes made during World War I to accommodate the use of silver. On the reverse, the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, also designed by Felix Schlag. The architecture of Monticello is iconic, and this particular reverse design remained on the nickel for over 60 years, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. The 1970 large date is a distinctive feature that sets this coin apart from other nickels of the era. The larger digits are easily noticeable compared to other dates in the series. The D mint mark on the coin signifies it was struck at the Denver Mint. The 1970 Jefferson nickel was minted in large quantities, with a total of approximately 270 million coins produced. However, due to the distinctive characteristics of the large date version, coins in higher grades and those exhibiting unique features, such as color shade conditions, are rare and in high demand. In today's market, the value of a 1970 Jefferson nickel with a large date and D mint mark can range from a few dollars for a coin in average circulated condition to several $100s for an uncirculated or mint state example with a notable color shade condition. The color shade refers to a particular toning or patina that the coin has developed over time, often due to environmental exposure or improper storage. This unique look can drastically increase the coin's appeal and, subsequently, its market value. The highest recorded prices for this coin are often for specimens that grade high on the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation scale, with rare instances reaching over $300,000 for well-preserved examples with significant color shade toning. The 1970 Jefferson nickel is not known for significant errors, but collectors are keenly interested in finding coins with unusual characteristics such as double strikes, die cracks, or unique toning patterns. As a result, the coin has drawn attention from era coin collectors, further elevating its market value. A coin with these types of errors can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and its condition. Moreover, the collector interest in this coin has been bolstered by its connection to the larger context of nickel scarcity during the early 1970s. As coinage was moving away from precious metals, the Jefferson nickel became a symbol of change in American currency production, further adding to its historical value. The 1970 Jefferson nickel with a large date and D mint mark is a highly valued coin for its historical context, design features, and the unique color shade conditions found in certain specimens. If you're a collector, this coin could represent both an investment and a key piece in your collection. The interest surrounding this coin, coupled with its high market value, ensures that it remains a sought-after piece in today's numismatic world. Next up, the 1982 Jefferson nickel is another milestone in the coin's long history. By the early 1980s, the United States was experiencing significant economic changes, including shifts in the value of metals and inflation concerns. Despite these challenges, the Jefferson nickel maintained its place in American currency as a reliable and constant coin in circulation. The 1982 Jefferson nickel, featuring the D mint mark, was struck at the Denver Mint. However, this coin has become especially well known for its double mint mark error. This error occurred during the minting process, where two D mint marks were accidentally stamped on the coin, making it a highly sought-after error piece. Like the 1970 Jefferson nickel, the 1982 version also features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. This design has been a constant for the nickel since its inception in 1938, ensuring a sense of continuity in U.S. coinage. The double mint mark error is what sets the 1982 Jefferson nickel apart. The error occurs when the minting dies are misaligned, causing two separate D mint marks to appear on the coin. This is a rare occurrence that is highly prized among collectors. The double mint mark can be found near the bottom of the reverse side of the coin, often giving it a somewhat indistinct appearance, but it is still unmistakable. The 1982 Jefferson nickel had a mintage of over 300 million coins, but only a small percentage of these coins exhibit the double mint mark error. This makes the error coins rare and valuable, especially in circulated condition. On average, A standard 1982 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents, but a coin exhibiting the double mint mark error can fetch prices ranging from $200,000 depending on its grade and condition. In high-quality circulated or mint state examples, the value can increase significantly, with some error coins being sold for up to $500 at auction. The double mint mark variety has become one of the most sought after Jefferson nickel errors, and as such, it continues to attract a large following of collectors, driving up its value over time. Collectors have long been fascinated by mint errors, and the 1982 Jefferson nickel with the double mint mark is a prime example of why. The rarity of this error and its distinctive appearance have made it a focal point for error coin collectors. These collectors are particularly interested in finding coins that deviate from the standard design, and the double mint mark provides just that. The double mint mark error on the 1982 Jefferson nickel is also a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin production. It reminds collectors of the human element involved in minting coins and how small mistakes can lead to significant value in the world of numismatics. The 1982 Jefferson nickel with the double mint mark is a fascinating coin that showcases the excitement and unpredictability of error coin collecting. Its rarity, coupled with the unique error, makes it a highly valuable coin in today's market, with prices reaching several $100s for well-preserved specimens. Next up, the 1984 Monticello Jefferson nickel is part of the long-standing tradition of the Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938. The design of the Jefferson nickel, created by artist Felix Schlag, has remained one of the most iconic and enduring designs in U.S. numismatics. The 1984 issue, struck as part of the regular minting process, features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. But what makes the 1984 nickel so special, especially with the AP error mint mark, is the fascinating and relatively rare occurrence of minting errors. While the U.S. Mint usually produces coins with proper mint marks indicating their origin D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia, this particular coin from 1984 is known for a significant error. The P mint mark was mistakenly applied to coins that were supposed to have no mint mark at all, as no mint mark was traditionally used for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint after 1980. The obverse of the 1984 Jefferson nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, created by artist John Reich, which was adapted in the 1938 redesign. On the reverse, you'll find a detailed representation of Jefferson's Virginia estate, Monticello. The error with the mint mark occurred because coins produced in Philadelphia typically don't carry a mint mark, but a small percentage of these 1984 nickels were mistakenly stamped with a P mint mark, making them stand out as errors. As for the coin's general appearance, the 1984 nickel, like many others from this period, typically displays a copper-nickel alloy composition that gives it a distinctive silvery look. However, when it comes to this specific 1984 nickel with the error, the condition of the coin, in particular, can greatly affect its value in the market. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of 1984 Jefferson nickels, the error variety with the P mint mark is quite rare. Only a handful of coins from this year have been identified with this minting flaw, making them highly collectible and valuable. The exact number of these error coins is unknown, but estimates suggest that only a small percentage of the total mintage for 1984 featured the erroneous P mint mark. The scarcity of these error coins adds to their appeal among collectors. In terms of market value, the 1984 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark error in dirty condition can fetch a surprisingly high price depending on its overall rarity, demand, and the state of preservation. While a coin in pristine condition could fetch anywhere from $68,000 in auction, a coin with visible dirt and wear still retains considerable value, often hovering around $66,000, depending on the extent of the error and the coin's overall condition. This nickel's error is particularly sought after by error coin collectors who are willing to pay a premium for such distinctive flaws. Collectors are drawn to this coin because of the rarity and intrigue of minting mistakes. Error coins, especially those from well-known and heavily circulated series like the Jefferson nickel, hold a special place in the world of numismatics. These coins represent a mistake made during production, and their scarcity only adds to their allure. The 1984 Jefferson nickel with the P era mint mark has become a key coin for error collectors, and its value is likely to rise as more collectors seek to add it to their collections. In terms of collector interest, the 1984 P era nickel is often found in both private and public auctions. Many collectors look for these coins at coin shows or through auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Their rarity, combined with the fact that error coins can command a premium, makes them an exciting investment for those who are looking to add unique pieces to their collection. Next up, the 1981 Jefferson nickel is another coin in the series that continues to reflect the legacy of the early 20th century designs. By the time this coin was minted, the design had been in circulation for several decades, but it was still a favorite of coin collectors and the public. The 1981 nickel, like other coins from the early 80s, was struck in large numbers, yet due to various minting flaws. Certain examples like the 1980 1p era nickel stand out among the masses. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint again made the same mistake that occurred in 1984, applying a mint mark P to nickels that were not supposed to have one. These errors were the result of an oversight in the minting process, and while they didn't make up a significant portion of the mintage, their discovery quickly made them a collector's item. What makes the 1980 1 nickel particularly interesting is that the mintage for that year was large, meaning more coins were in circulation and thus more likely to have the error, yet finding one in good condition or with the P mint mark error is still a challenge. The obverse of the 1981 Jefferson nickel features the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. The reverse features Monticello Jefferson's estate, as designed by Felix Schlag. The coin has a copper nickel composition, which gives it a shiny appearance when freshly minted but can tarnish over time. The P mint mark error coins from 1981 are rare, as they were not supposed to have any mint mark at all, making them highly desirable to collectors seeking to add a coin that tells a story of minting mistakes. The general appearance of this nickel might show signs of wear and dirt, which lowers its grade and value slightly. However, even in a dirty state, it can still be a valuable piece, especially given the rarity of the minting error. While the 1981 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, the number of P mint mark errors is limited. The U.S. Mint made over 600 million of these coins in total, but only a small fraction of these featured the error. Some estimates suggest that fewer than 10,000 examples of the 1981 P error are still in circulation, making this coin a highly prized collector's item. Despite being in dirty condition, the 1981 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark error can still command a price ranging from $56,000 at auction, depending on its level of preservation. Coins that are in better condition, with minimal dirt and wear, can push the value even higher, while those in poor condition will still draw attention due to their rarity. The error in the 1981 Jefferson nickel is similar to the one in the 1984 version, and like all error coins, it piques the interest of collectors who specialize in minting mistakes. For error collectors, these coins are highly desirable because they represent an anomaly in the minting process. They hold historical significance as they were part of the production process, but should not have existed. This anomaly is what drives up the price and creates a market for error coins. With the 1981 P error nickel being such a niche and rare coin, its demand remains strong, and it is often featured in high-end auctions. Its status as an error coin makes it a standout piece in any collection, and collectors are always on the lookout for these rare finds. Next up, the Monticello 5 cents 1946 Jefferson nickel, especially with a large date and without a mint mark, has captured the attention of collectors due to its unique positioning in the history of U.S. coinage. The year 1946 marked the end of World War II, and for many collectors, this coin signifies a post-war era of rebuilding and optimism. In 1946, the minting of the Jefferson nickel faced challenges, and collectors note that coins from this period were not only scarce, but also went through a transition in design. While the obverse design of the coin remained the same, the changes in minting processes during this period resulted in a notable difference in the size of the date. The design of the 1946 Jefferson nickel remains true to the original vision of artist Felix Schlag. On the obverse, we see a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, while on the reverse, there's an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. The coin features a simple yet elegant design with clean lines and a sense of historical reverence. What makes the 1946 large date variety particularly unique is the size of the digits on the coin. The large date variant features a noticeably larger date than the standard ones minted in other years, which was likely a result of a change in the tools or dies used in the minting process. This small but significant design variation is what makes the 1946 large date so desirable among collectors. The 1946 Jefferson nickel was minted at the Philadelphia Mint and, interestingly, lacks a mint mark. While the lack of a mint mark on coins produced at Philadelphia was the standard, collectors often look for this feature as part of what makes certain coins rarer. Over 100 million of these coins were minted, but finding them in fine condition, especially without a mint mark and with a large date feature, is much more difficult. In today's auction market, a 1946 Jefferson nickel in fine condition can fetch anywhere from $19,000, depending on the specific characteristics and overall quality. However, the price can escalate significantly if the coin is in better condition or if it is accompanied by certification from a reputable grading agency, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A certified coin could easily reach prices upwards of $20,000 or more in specialized auctions, especially if it has the large date variant and is deemed error-free. In some cases, the value of the 1946 large date nickel has soared in private sales or auctions, where bidders are willing to go above and beyond to secure this historically significant coin. Collector interest and error variance. While the 1946 Jefferson nickel does not have any major minting errors, collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because of its historical context and the rarity of well-preserved example. Errors like die cracks, double strikes, and off-center strikes are often found in Jefferson nickels, and some of these variations can greatly increase a coin's value. As for the large date feature, this is considered a minor error, but one that adds collectability to the coin. The difference in size between the digits makes it an attractive piece for numismatists who focus on variations and slight design alterations. The lack of a mint mark also makes the coin more difficult to authenticate without the proper tools, which can increase the challenge and, therefore, the value for collectors seeking a well-preserved version. Collectors often seek out coins in fine condition because, although not pristine, they still show clear details, making them more affordable than higher-grade examples. The historical significance of the 1946 Jefferson nickel, paired with its scarcity and demand, ensures that this coin will remain a coveted item in the world of numismatics for years to come.